Hey everyone, this is Keith Scott from out in Sydney, Australia. I'm one of the voices of Bullwinkle J. Moose. It's time to watch Relentless and Unstoppable. And so give it up for your main hosts, Douglas Kenny and Andy McPhee.
Hey everybody, this is Doug Kenny and welcome to Relentless and Unstoppable. We have another amazing guest coming on the channel today, so please hit like and subscribe. And after this episode, please stay tuned to the RNU channel for more amazing guests. Let's get this on!
Hey everybody, how you doing? Just a quick little share of why I started Relentless and Unstoppable. It was for one very simple reason, because of Doug Kenny. Nothing to do with me at all, zero. I was just coaching Doug, and he took on the coaching and mentoring, and he made all the changes. He took all the suggestions from his parents as well as my coaching, but it was all about Doug, his breakthrough and his weight loss, his willingness to accept that he is dealing with high functioning autism and other issues, but he's never quit, he's never given up. So we did one interview with him to share his story, and then we decided to start interviewing other people. And Doug has now taken over the whole channel, and he does all the interviews, he runs everything. He's just an amazing young man. So RNU was born from simply what an amazing young man Doug is, and his story needed to be shared.
I see what you mean. Did you know about Osama bin Laden before the attacks, or did you only know about him afterwards?
Not really, no. Just after the attacks is when you heard, everything started to come out.
Yeah, it's a good thing we got that guy along with his successor Emir. It's great that we wiped him out at the face of the earth.
Oh, absolutely. As far as I'm concerned, yeah.
Yeah. So when did you join Jim Rosenblum's team, and how'd you get in touch with him?
One of the guys that I used to work with, Mike Bolnick, was he had already retired right before I left the job, and he kept telling me, I liked NASCAR, and he kept saying, I got a friend of mine that has a team, and I'm like, yeah, okay, Mike, yeah, sure. And it wasn't that I didn't believe him, but it just, what are the odds that he's going to have a real team racing, and he was like, you should come down and watch us. And this went on for years. And finally I went down with a buddy of mine, and, we hung out with the team and watched everything that went on. And then Jim was absolutely fantastic. I mean, he took us in. What do you want? What do you need? He was just unbelievable. And from that day forward, we've been very, very good friends. So I kind of worked my way into the team. I was always a car guy. When I was a kid, I worked for an auto parts store, and I was taught from a friend of mine, how to build engines and things like that. I'm certified in auto body repair. So I kind of just, like most of the guys, we worked our way into the team and do help out wherever we can.
That's great. What races have you been to that you're proud of?
We're proud of all of them, because any money that we do make, which isn't much, goes to the fire department Widows and Children's Fund. So any race that we're in, hopefully we don't get wrecked. But if we finish, you get some sort of money, and we try to sell hats and shirts, things like that. And that money goes to them.
That's great to hear. I just bought a hat recently from Rosenblum.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I can't wait till it comes in the mail.
Jim is, I'm telling you, I couldn't say enough good things about him. The first thing he says is, like before I was really on the team, And I thank him as Jim, thank you very much for letting us, join you. And he'd say, all I want to know is, did you have a good time? And I'm, well, sure. That's it. That's all. That's all I want. You don't have to thank me. Just tell me that you had a good time. So
That's great to hear. Did you see that the 28 truck almost won at Talladega a few years back and finished in the top 10?
yes, I couldn't make that race. I don't remember what happened, but I couldn't make the race, and I almost went through the TV. I was watching it at home, but yeah, it was. We were actually in first for a couple. I think a couple of laps, but you can't compete. A small team like ours, we don't have any sponsors, so it's all on Jim. And now it's on Brian Dozer, the driver, who pays a lot of the fees and things. And to get the truck ready, it's a very expensive sport. And, so we don't get the limelight like the top teams do.
Yeah.
So to finish eighth in a race like that in Talladega is fantastic.
Yeah, and almost winning. I remember when you guys got to the lead in that race, I was watching it on television, and I just remember thinking to myself, if my team can't win, I hope the 28 does.
Oh, that's nice to hear. We get a lot of that. We get a lot of fire service, police, because we have a couple of cops or retired cops on the team as well.
Yeah, both firefighters and police officers do a lot for their communities, It's the same industry protecting the community, you know what I mean?
Right. We try. We do the best we can. Yep.
We all thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what are your hopes for the future?
Oh, it'd be nice to get a sponsor to help us continue. We were one of the first. We're actually the last of the original truck teams that started the truck series. We're the last original team, so it would be nice to get a sponsor to help us continue on and get better equipment that we can race, be in the top and get higher up in the standings.
Definitely. That's like the Wood brothers. They're the oldest team in NASCAR from when NASCAR first started, the Cup Series anyway. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
So yeah, the team has very much a similarity to the Wood brothers, and hopefully you guys can get a sponsor and win.
That would be great. Fox Sports did a spotlight on us a few years ago. That was fantastic. It's on our website, FDNYracing.com. But it came out fantastic. It was all about the trade center and what we do and what we're about.
Yeah. Do you like that we were able to rebuild the World Trade Center in a different and meaningful way afterwards?
It's tough. The Freedom Tower, I've been saying for years, I'd really like to go see it, but it's so difficult to actually do that.
Yeah.
But I do. I'm hoping that this summer I'll get there.
Yeah, for sure. So where can people find you?
I'm still here on Long Island with Jim's team, with the FDNY Racing, the 28. So they can find me there. I'm part of Facebook, so if they go to the team, I'm hooked up with the team.
Great. And this is my final question, which is how can your journey impact race fans and, in the big picture, future generations of firefighters?
Well, the race team, things change, things evolve. Sometimes you like the change, sometimes you don't. And it's very, like as I said, it's a very expensive sport. So anybody looking to get into it, what I would say is find one of the lower teams, smaller teams like us, and see what they're about, and maybe you can work your way in and and help out. If it's chasing, going to get tires for the team or something, within the track, things like that can help. Fire department, I mean, it's different now. It's you for the pretty most of the mostly what you have to do now is go into EMS, the medical end, and then taking it, and it's considered an advancement. But you can still just take the test and get on, I believe. Train, you really should train. I mean, because a lot of these people, because now it's men and women, are not that fit. So you need to be in shape to do that job. So that's what I would say is go to the gym. Endurance. It's not about strength necessarily. It's endurance.
Endurance is very important in any sort of activity, because that's how Ernest Shackleton was able to lead his men to safety in Antarctica. You know that story?
Yep.
Yeah. Endurance is important.
That's what's going to make you. That's what's going to. It's going to make you let you survive.
Yep, for sure. So that's all I have for now, but I thank you for coming on to RNU.
I thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
No problem. So everybody, please check out Bob on the Fire Department of New York Racing website. Check him out on his Facebook profile. Please hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on RNU.
Gee, that's all we have for Relentless and Unstoppable. So tune into the next episode to hear more amazing stories from amazing guests. This is Keith Scott from Sydney, Australia, saying so long, and I'm smarter than the average bear. Gee.